As the decade of the 1840s unfolded, it had become obvious that the North and South not just had differing views about different things, but there could possibly be some unresolved tensions that would now finally come to a head. I'm talking specifically of slavery. Slavery has been an institution in now what we know as the United States since our colonial days. Okay? We didn't start it, but we certainly continued it. Since our revolutionary days, the matter and question of slavery had been largely unresolved. What is the true direction of the overall slavery question, and where are we going to go from there? You had seen other conflicts, the Missouri Compromise of 1820, new territories that the United States would annex, most specifically the Louisiana Territory from New Orleans, extending all the way through the western drainage area of the Mississippi River, through very small parts of Canada, actually. As those territories applied for statehood, as we've talked about in previous chapters, would they be admitted to the United States as slave states or as free states? And we talked about Alabama and Mississippi as opposed to Indiana and Illinois. The Missouri Compromise, which deemed that as Missouri is an exception, no states north of that line would be newly admitted as slave states. But as you had a rise of abolitionism, you have Northerners who continually struggle with the idea of there being states in the Union that are admitted as slave states. Furthermore, if they're admitted as slave states, that would further reduce their economic power and their influence in those new territory states. So they had an issue there. Southern states adamantly defended their right to maintain slavery. You saw a massive movement in folks who believed in the idea of states' rights, most specifically the state's right to maintain slavery. It's part of their way of life. In the meantime, you have an emerging Western territory where you have eventually huge swaths of land gained by the United States where territory was now left in question. What do you do with those states? Slave? Are they admitted as free states? How are they obtained in the first place? Is there something that Americans, whether Northern or Southern, believe in that makes it somewhat of a foregone conclusion that we're going to add territory? All of those things that I just mentioned, we are going to discuss with Chapter 13 amidst the impending crisis. We're going to talk about how the decade of the 1840s and the next couple decades would lead to something even greater of a conflict.